As Trump announced Tylenol being responsible for autism, the spotlight once again shone on neurological diversity, thanks to the outpouring of discourse on the internet. This isn't anything new, however, from self-described autists on 4chan to the association with Sonic the Hedgehog.
If you truly want to get rid of autism, you have to get rid of Sonic the Hedgehog. And you're gonna have to rip Sonic the Hedgehog from my cold, dead autistic hands. Okay, maybe it is a problem. Maybe, okay.
Autism has certainly seen a boost in representation online. This video aims to explore that representation and understand why neurodiversity has become such an obsession in digital culture, for better or for worse. There are examples of certain memes becoming mascots for autistic people, like the autism creature, which consists of a small, crudely drawn animal with large open eyes. Plus, social media has become a place where autism is not only discussed at length, but also celebrated and accepted. In fact, in some areas it's almost become fetishized, as some people seem to become so obsessed with the idea of being autistic that they've mistaken it with common traits like introversion. That's not to say that everyone is suddenly autistic now simply because it's cool. There's a very real reason why the world is seeing an uptick in autistic diagnoses. This is because society simply understands it more. Doctors are far more able to identify autistic traits than they were able to in the past, because autism diagnoses used to follow very strict and extreme symptoms, whereas now it's understood that it falls on a spectrum. In fact, it was so misunderstood in the past that many people are receiving a diagnosis far later in life and are finally able to understand why they might not feel as if they fit in. So let's take a look at autism and how it became one of the most discussed items on the internet.
Shout out to everyone with the autism. You're so cool.
And nice.
And you are the best. The autism.
Autism is represented as a medical condition, and the discussion that surrounds it is pretty large. But what is it exactly? Well, while there's no exact definition, we do know that it's a type of neurological diversity, often presented via many different behaviors, such as struggles with socializing and communication, plus intense special interests or repetitive motions. An autistic person might not immediately understand the subtle cues and language neurotypicals take for granted, such as the importance of eye contact or tone of voice in conveying meaning. Thus, they often feel out of place or like outcasts and may unfortunately be treated as such. This is why people say autism has a stigma attached to it, in the sense that autistic people are often treated differently and some approach them as a problem to be solved or cured. This is part of the reason why some politicians have leaned into claiming certain medications, like Tylenol, can cause autism. RFJ Jr. said autistic people can't get jobs or pay taxes and are unable to function in society when this isn't the case.
And these are kids who will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted.
However, the Tylenol incident probably wouldn't have happened without the misinformation that vaccines cause autism, which stemmed from a single 1998 faked study by a man named Andrew Wakefield. Whilst the study received a ton of press at the time and was quickly found to be faked, the press it did receive was enough to instill the idea that vaccines were responsible for causing autism for many years, and some still believe it today. Neurodivergence can be a prickly topic, as people tend to be quite passionate about the perceived differences in children. Nowadays, autism is often lumped in with other mental illnesses like ADHD, as it too has received a lot more understanding as a nuanced issue in modern times. On the plus side, this increased understanding means a lot more acceptance regarding the heavily stigmatized neurodivergence. On the negative side, it still means that some people are misunderstanding autism, just in a different way as it can be glorified and fetishized. Not to mention there are organizations out there that autistic people tend to openly dislike, such as Autism Speaks, which started as a charitable organization back in 2005. It turns out it was run by a board of 27 people, none of which were autistic, and also presented autism as something to cure, which is perhaps not the nicest thing to aim toward. This on top of their logo being a jigsaw puzzle piece, which implies autistic people are something to solve rather than accept, means they've harbored much ill will over the years. As a result, autism has seen its fair share of poor representation. However, social media seems to be the place where this is rapidly changing. The internet is, perhaps, a place where many autistic people can feel comfortable. They're able to find like-minded communities related to their special interests and see social media as a place with clearly defined rules and expectations. The internet allows autistic people to reach individuals that they might never have been able to beforehand, and thus feel a stronger sense of community within the world of neurodivergence.
What flavor of autism did you guys get? I got the kind where I took apart all my electronics while watching Lord of the Rings.
I got the kind where I spent my life savings on shiny rocks.
I have the one where I created an entire language.
It's also a place where autistic people can share videos or blogs detailing what exactly it feels like to be them, and it turns out once neurotypical people begin to understand them, the spectrum of autism can become a lot more relatable. This is why places like forums and message boards on the internet are often roamed by self-described outcasts who call themselves autists. Whether they are actually autistic is irrelevant. They can identify with some autistic traits, particularly their inability to socialize easily, and thus find themselves socializing online with like-minded people. Another particularly strong example of this is the existence of the autism creature. With big eyes and a small body, it's a meme that perhaps visually represents the naivety of autistic people and how they see the world, and has thus become an iconic mascot of neurodivergence in meme culture. Then there's the fact that autistic communities seem to like Sonic the Hedgehog, which seems weird until you notice that it is quite adaptive to the needs of an autistic person. As has been pointed out by others, the Sonic franchise ensures that everybody can be categorized by color, everybody can be categorized by speed/fly/power type, everybody can be categorized into teams, either Canon teams or Fanon like Silver/Blaze, and everybody has expressive faces that young neurodivergent kids can latch onto. As a result, Sonic has become a franchise that caters to these behaviors and has cultivated a community beloved by neurodivergent people. Meanwhile, given autism's prevalence online, there are people self-diagnosing to the point that it's become a stereotype. Videos showcasing the type of traits or identities manufactured by certain groups of people are commonplace, as it would seem there are some who would find it fun to roleplay as an autistic person. As such, there's criticism that autism is trendy now, and that more people are diagnosed simply because it has higher representation. However, as stated prior, it would seem this is happening because it's more understood and easier for doctors to diagnose. Not that it isn't a long and laborious process still, as getting a clinical diagnosis can be financially intense and time-consuming. However, as a result of social media's increased autistic collaboration and representation, it's worth looking at how neurodivergence has been represented over the years. Autistic representation in the media and beyond has always been a bit weird. From Sheldon Cooper's stereotypical depiction to The Good Doctor resulting in the I am a surgeon trend.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon! Dr. Hahn, I am a surgeon!
To Sia's absolute train wreck of a film, Music. There's a few good representations, but the fact is that the consistent inconsistency has led to resentment on behalf of those who are actually neurodivergent, as well as confusion from the general public, often turning into ignorance or disdain. This is arguably why we've seen it become a topic of great controversy and obsession. From fear of vaccinations causing autism to social media representation, it would appear to have grown in scope and size as a topic that continues to provoke great discussion. On the plus side, this increased representation has led to a far more positive attitude toward autism, as the world is able to see that autistic people are in many ways just like everyone else. And unfortunately, it also means that there are some who would turn it into an issue that needs to be cured, as organizations such as Autism Speaks seem to be maligned in the community. That being said, fun memes like the autism creature demonstrate how communities can come together and feel seen and heard online, as digital spaces can cater for neurodivergent people. In short, the increasing obsession with autism seems to be the result of many elements mixing together, such as fear of the unknown leading to unfounded medical claims, increased understanding and acceptance on social media, and a general need to research neurodivergence further. See you next time on Lessons in Internet Culture.